Hello everybody, how is it going? I hope you are doing great and you've had a wonderful day and everything. Today we are going to have a look at 10 British English phrases that confused the hell out of me when I was in England. As we all know, English is a very confusing language. There is a lot of idioms, there is a lot of slang, a lot of expressions that just don't make sense. But today I would like to share those that I've got a personal experience with. Because until today I remember vividly where I was standing, who I was talking to when I experienced this massive confusion and I felt like an idiot for a little bit. Yeah. I just want to remind you that making mistakes is not an issue. Making mistakes is the best way of learning, because just like me, when you make a mistake in reality, when you are speaking with real people, you will remember it forever. So it's the best school, reality, saying stupid things, making mistakes, like that's the best way of learning. So let's dive in. So first up, we've got this question: how did you find it? So in case you don't know, we use this question when we are asking about someone's opinions or someone else's experience. We are basically asking them like, what do you think about something? So for example, let's say that you went to the cinema and I want to ask you about your opinion about the film. So I can ask you, so how did you find the film? If you've been on a date with somebody, I can ask you, so how do you find him? You can say, yeah, I find him really cute, or whatever. I didn't know that at that time. So actually, after my very first shift in a restaurant where I worked for a couple of months, my manager came up to me and he asked me, so how did you find it? And I was like, what do you mean, the job? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, on the internet. Because I thought that he was asking me like literally like, where did you find the job advert? But no, he was asking me about my opinion, like, if I liked my first shift and if I would like to continue working in the pub. But I didn't know that, so my answer was on the internet. Yeah. Next up, we've got the word cheers. As we know, we use the word cheers when we are having a toast with somebody, or I don't know, when there is someone else's birthdays and you are like, yeah, cheers everybody. But in the UK, they also use it instead of thank you. Yeah, which I didn't know. So when I ordered one of my very first coffees, I paid for my cappuccino. I gave the barista the money and he was like, okay, cheers. And I was like, yeah, cheers. Because I thought like he was telling me, or like, cheers to my health or or something like that. And then I quickly understood that the British people, they use it all the time for everything. If you go to a supermarket, you pay for your shopping, the cashier will tell you, cheers, have a good one, have a great day, cheers, yeah. Or if you open the door for somebody, people will say, oh, cheers. Next one is very famous British, all right, all right, all right. We use this phrase as basically like, hello, how are you? Because hello, how are you is very long. We don't have time for that, so it's okay to say just all right. And the answer is all right. And I didn't know that, so for a couple of days when everybody was telling me all right, I thought, do I look ill? Why is everybody asking me if I'm okay? I thought there was something wrong with me or something wrong with my appearance. And then I understood that it's just a way how to say like, hello, how are you? All right. Next one is going to be this expression when we talk about time, which is 7:30 or 8:30, 3:30, half something. According to grammar, or according to the textbooks, you should say 7:30 or 3:30 or whatever. But just because it's probably really obvious and you would be saying like half past, every single time, In the UK, they just don't say 7:30, they just say 7:30, which means 7:30, which I didn't know. I was talking to my manager and I was asking him at which time I should come for my next shift, and he said 7:30. I thought it was like a half of the number 7, which means like a half between 6 and 7, which means 6:30, not 7:30. So actually, for my next shift, I came an hour early and I was there at 6:30. And he was like, "You were supposed to come at 7:30. I was like, "Yeah, it is 7:30. And he was like, "No, 7:30. At least, you know, I came early. Next up, we've got this expression, would you mind? For example, would you mind me opening the window? Would you mind moving away a little bit? Or would you mind passing me the blah blah over there? Like I knew about this expression, but what I didn't know was that the answer to this question is yes. Because logically, if you say, I don't mind doing something, it means you don't care. It means it's okay. So if you say, I do mind something, you have a problem with that, right? One day, we had a very busy night in the restaurant and my manager asked me to open the window. And we had a table there and they were the guests. So I came up to them and I asked them, oh, sorry, would you mind me opening the window over here? And the lady was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so you do mind me opening the window, so you have a problem with that? Like, and I was actually, oh, okay, I can open it later. And I was about to leave and she was like, no, like you can open it, like no problem. And I was like, why did you say yes then? And then I quickly understood that, you know, people answer yes to this question. Like, the answer should not be yeah, it should be no problem. Do you know, like, it's confusing. Would you mind me taking a little break? Yeah. Just doesn't make sense. It's the same like when Americans say, I could care less, which means that you can care less. It means, you know, it's not an issue. It means you care. You care enough for you to care a bit less, which is incorrect, because you should say, I couldn't care less. It means I don't have enough care for this, so I don't give a fuck. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, don't make really sense. Next one, we've got these ones, these X's. I believe in American English they've got XO at the end of messages. When you are exchanging messages with somebody, you know, you are sending kisses. Kissy. So when you are texting with your friend or with your family members, you know, just to let them know that you like them, you send them kisses, right? But I didn't know that you send it in every single message. Even when you are having a lengthy conversation with somebody, you write at least one X at the end of every single message. You know, and at the beginning, I was texting with one of my friends and he was writing it in every single message. So I was doing the same. But then I sort of like got tired of it, so I stopped doing it. And after that, he asked me, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing's wrong. What do you mean? And he was like, did I say something wrong? And I was like, no, not at all. And he was like, yeah, but you stopped sending the kisses. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, so what's wrong? So if you are messaging with a British person, you have to write those X's into every single text message. So usually the first message has like 3 of them. Then you continue with only 1 X at the end of each message, and at the end, just to, you know, express more love, you know, just like, I cannot wait to see you, X. You write around like 20 or 200. Yeah. Next up, we've got darling or love or sweetheart, or actually British people don't say sweetheart as much, or sweetie or treacle. Yeah, but usually it is the word darling or love. In my language, we also have words like this, and we use them for our friends and family members, you know, the people that we like. But in the UK, you can address anybody like your love or your darling. It shocked me how many people called me love and darling. You know, customers, cashiers, baristas, everywhere I went, it was like, all right, love, what can I get you, love? Is that everything, love? Is it everything, darling? Would you like anything else, darling? Oh, darling, can I ask you something? You're right, love. It was everywhere, and I was like, the first time I heard it, I was supposed to have a viewing of one house, and I was on the phone with the guy, and he was like, all right, love, yeah, okay, I will see you soon, darling, or whatever. And it kind of scared me, so I didn't go there. Because I was thinking, like, is that a creep? You know, like, why is he calling me darling? Like, I was scared to go there because I thought he would try something. You are darling to everybody. Yeah, in the UK, everybody will call you darling, and it's just a nice, you know, like friendly way of addressing somebody, and there is nothing like romantic behind it. Next up, we've got the famous British innit. Yeah, it's a nice weather, innit. It's so cool, innit. So I know that innit is an abbreviation of like isn't it, right? So that's quite logical, right? It is lovely, isn't it? Like, it's lovely, innit? Yeah. But I didn't know that actually it's not only isn't it, we can use it instead of everything. For example, he doesn't like it, innit? You don't like your burger, innit? Like, you can say it after anything. It's not about the grammar. It's basically like an expression you can say at the end of every single question you ask. Not even questions. You can say a normal statement like, I love it, innit? You like that, innit? It doesn't matter, innit? I'm not doing that, innit? You can put it anywhere. You can basically say it after anything you want. Yeah. Next up, we've got the Glottal T. That is the T we do not pronounce. So you kind of like stop the T in the middle. The most famous expression is the bottle of water. The bottle of water instead of bottle of water. Water instead of water. I knew about this one, or for example, instead of party, they would say the party. But I didn't know that they don't pronounce the T's anywhere. So instead of get, they would say get. I don't get it. Or want. I want that. Instead that. So the T's are just not there, like, ever. And the most confusing one was Brighton. Because I lived in the city called Brighton, but everybody was saying Brighton. I love Brighton. I cannot wait to go back to Brighton. And I was like, who the fuck is Brighton? Because to me at that time it sounded like Brian, like the name, and I was like, who the fuck is Brian? Everybody's talking about Brian. But then I understood it was Brighton, aka Brighton. Yeah. The last one is going to be see you next Tuesday, right? So this one is a little bit funny. So if we take the first letter from these individual words and we put them together, we are going to get the rudest English word, aka the C word, which you should never say. But if you've got self-deprecating sense of humor, or you like being sarcastic, or you like a good banter with your friends and you like to tease each other, then it is okay to say that word to your friends in a funny way. You don't want to insult anybody, but you're just like, you're a bit like cheeky with each other. So it's absolutely normal to say that to your friend. But I didn't know this, so again, at work, I was leaving and I was like, okay, so I will see you, next time. And one of my friends was like, yeah, see you next Tuesday. And I was like, I'm not working on Tuesday. And then I had to Google it. So it was basically like, see you later. Yeah. So that is everything. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a fantastic week. And I will catch you later. Bye.